Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching this video. My name is robert.balasabas. Today we're going to be diving into one of my favorite note-taking apps, which is Google Keep. You can tell by the big banner on the screen here. Google Keep, it is my favorite, my go-to when it comes to taking notes. It was actually introduced to me by a former colleague of mine by the name of Aaron Morin at Thinkific when I was looking for different tools and apps to take notes on a day-to-day basis. There's other tools out there other than Google Keep. There's a plethora of tools and apps to keep notes. You know, Apple Notes, there's tons. But I landed on Google Keep. And the beautiful thing about Google Keep is it's part of your Google Suite. All right, so if you're using Google Gmail already, then you already have access to this fantastic tool. So here's what it looks like when you go and look up and you actually Google Keep. This is what you'll find, and it goes down and kind of shows you different features and things like that. What I want to do today is actually show you how I use it directly here on the browser. Now you can see here on the screen there is also a mobile version, just like anything with Google. There's a mobile app as well, which is beautiful because then you can take it with you wherever you go. You can make notes. There's all sorts of case use for this, you know, even grocery lists, right? You can make grocery lists, you can do all sorts of things. But for me, I keep it to basically the use of business ideas, work ideas, things to do, things like that, that I may even transfer off into another tool, you know, whether it is ClickUp or Asana or Trello for some of the more complex to-dos. Now, this is strictly for keeping notes, all right? So again, if you have any questions, please pause, let me know down in the comments, and I want to make sure I answer them either in the comments or perhaps even in a future video. All right, so with that being said, let me know in the comments right now, just quickly pause. Let me know if you're already using another note-taking app. If so, let me know which ones. If you're not, let me know that you're not. All right, just want to make sure that we're connecting, that there's a conversation happening here, and it's not just one way, okay? So let's get back into the screen here. And so as you can see, here is really straightforward, very similar, very familiar looking sort of Google dashboard. You know, you can even pretend that this is almost like your Gmail, right? You know, usually your folders are over here for Gmail, and then the body of your emails are over here on the right-hand side, right? So that's very familiar, which is beautiful. There's also a search bar here on the top, which is awesome. We're all very familiar with Google search, so it's all there. So the first thing here is that where you start is basically right here. Take a note, okay? And then you can see that there's also some different types of options here that you can use, and I can just sort of go through that really quickly. And then once you add notes, it will appear here, just like it says. Okay, so let's click into here first. So take a note. So I'm gonna do a test note here. So let's say first note, okay? So that's the title. So this right here is the title of this note. So now you see that it's showing up. So it's showing up as a card, which is awesome, very easy. I didn't even have to do that. It just auto saves itself, okay? Let's click back into this and let's make some notes. So first note, you know, take notes, right? So you can, you know, kind of go on and you can make paragraphs here. Now you can also have certain options here. You can ask you to remind yourself. You can do all sorts of things. You can change the color here as well, make it green. The first thing I want to let you know too is that you can show checkboxes, because a lot of people want to use this as a task list, right? So open the door, you know, upload video, right? You know, you can make a whole list here of keyword research, right? If you're doing some videos, right? You know, insert affiliate links, right? That sort of thing, right? So you can do that here by having these checkboxes. You can also have these checkboxes once you are checking them off. It then shows up at the bottom, right? Hopefully you're seeing that. You're seeing the completed items here because I checked those items off. All right, so that's the beautiful thing about these checkboxes. Okay, now let's go in here too, and you can also hide checkboxes. That's totally fine. I don't want to do that because then it's going to delete what I just made there. The other cool thing here is that you can add drawings, right? So you can actually draw in Sketch. So if I click on Add Drawing, it takes me into another window, or it changes the window into a blank slate like this. I can change my pen, thickness and color and things like that. And I can just draw. So I can say, okay, well, you know what? I kind of want my thumbnail to have my face here, right? And then I want the text here and a text here. That's that sort of thing. And this is sort of what I want for my thumbnail, right? That sort of thing. And so if I then close this, if I go back, we can click got it. I can do a few other things here, dots, squares, that sort of thing. I can do highlights, right, if I want to, right? This is a highlighter. This is right here. We'll change this. There's all sorts of things that you can do. I can also, of course, erase everything if I want to. And if I go back, it adds that drawing into my note, which is awesome, which is so good, right? Sometimes it's just easier to visually show that on the screen like that rather than just text. So that's very helpful. Okay, so there we go. That's the drawing. And then the other thing here is you can also add a label. So if I click on this, I can add a label and say that this is my YouTube. This is part of my YouTube notes, right? And so you can see here that I can create this label. Oh, it doesn't show, but I can create this label. So let's put YouTube again. So you see that at the bottom, YouTube. And then you see here at the bottom, it says plus create and then quotes YouTube. So it's going to create that label for me now. All right. So now you can see that there is now a label right here. Also behind the scenes that you may not have noticed is that now it creates this label called YouTube in the folder section behind this this page right here, right? So now I can see all of the things and I can categorize all of my YouTube notes. I can categorize all of my blog notes, my personal or family notes, to-do list, that sort of thing, family plans versus work travel. I mean, the use of this is quite endless, right? So let's close this up, and I just want to quickly go over now. So now this is what you see. I'm gonna kind of zoom out a bit so you can kind of see here. So here is now the card, which is awesome. So now we have one card right here. If I was quickly to make another note, so let's put second note here, just so you can see how it would look when you have more notes. Second note. Okay, if I can type, test, second note, right? And click on close. Then there's a second note that appears right here as well. Now, once you have many notes, right? You have a lot of different cards showing up here. What you can do is you can actually click on a pin right here. So there's a pin that you can see. Maybe it's easier on this one. So where I'm hovering right here, pin, there's a pin. And that pins that note, right? So, if you can imagine, if you start making several or dozens of different notes, then you start getting lost in it, and there's a lot. And so you can pin the ones that you're using on a regular daily basis, or even pin the ones that are most important for you. There might be ones that you're constantly looking at, maybe the grocery list note, right? Your daily task note. You might be, going back to that all the time. Now, on the left-hand side here, you can then also click on this label that was created earlier. So if you click on YouTube, it only shows the ones that are tagged or labeled as YouTube. The other thing that we didn't really go over is that you can also set reminders. So back into this note here, where we have this, I can set reminders, right? So right here on the bottom left of this, I'll just circle it really quickly. Right there is you can set reminders. So you can set it to remind you, later today. So let's do that. And let's close this. And so if I click on reminder, there's a reminder here for later today at 8 p.m., right? So if you want, hey, make sure that this pops up and reminds me later. That's done. That's very easy to do. So, the other thing here is that you can also add images, and we didn't really get to do that, but let's say that we did that. Let's use this image right here. There we go. So now that is part of the note. And so upload this, let's just say new video, right? And so that's a note right here. Okay, so now that becomes a note with an image, right? So that is really how the Google Keep tool works. The beauty of it is that the simplicity of it is perfect, right? It's so simple. It's so easy to use. Now, if you are looking for something a little bit more complex where you want to add team members and you want to add, Canva boards and things like that, then Google Note is not for you. Google Note is very simple. And that's the beauty of it. Like I said, it's something that you can just kind of pull up on your phone real quick. Oh yeah, I got to do this, add a note, make a note about it. Oh, I got to do this. It's great for ideas, right? If you have, if you're a creative person, if you're a freelancer, or you're a remote worker, and you have some different ideas, when you're walking, going for a walk, or at lunch, or at night, or anywhere during the day, you can just kind of keep this up, and you can pull it up on your phone or save it as a tab on your browser. And you can just keep adding. The other thing that we didn't talk about, and we can talk about this in future videos, is that it's got a Chrome extension as well, where wherever you're going, wherever you're browsing online, on your browser, on your desktop, you can click and then make a note, right? Maybe you see a video, or maybe you see a web page. You're like, hey, I got to come back to this later. Add this to my, checkout later list. And you can do that as well. So there's lots of different use cases of it. And hopefully this was helpful for you. I'm gonna create some more videos and tutorials around these tools, and hopefully that is helpful for you. And so let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Also, let me know if there's a specific note-taking app that you're using. I would love to know in the comments as well. And of course, check out these other videos and make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. We are gunning for 10,000 subscribers and would love for you to be part of that journey. All right. Thanks again. My name is Rob.balasabas, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.